Hey everybody, it's James here with the Sawyer Family Reviews channel. Today is Wednesday, July 3rd, 2019. Happy early 4th of July. This is your weekly comic book pickups video. Every week, I pick up my boys at least one comic each. I pick up my daughter Gracie comics as well, even though she can't read yet. We read them to her. And sometimes I even get comics for myself. But I always pick up my comics from Queen City Comics in Fairfield, Ohio. Zip code 45014. If you're in this area and into comics, check out the shop. Then go 2 doors down and check out the toy department. All right, let's jump in. It's another big stack this week. Not quite as big as last week, I don't think, but still a pretty good size stack. There are comics for 6 different people in this stack. What 6 people? I guess we're gonna find out. True Believers. These are $1 reprints of classic Marvel stories. They usually tie into a current event or a movie that's happening. This time around, it's Absolute Carnage. So I guess there's gonna be a Carnage thing that's happening soon. There's 2 this week. The first up is True Believers Carnage USA, which I don't think that's on the first page. So give me a second. Yeah. This is a reprint of Carnage USA #1 by Zeb Wells doing the writing and Clayton Crane doing the art. I really like the art on this Clayton Crane art, this painted looking art. So I guess we've got some big time heroes going after Carnage. I never read this series, so I'll probably check this one out and see if I want to get the rest of these or get a trade paperback or what. Next up is True Believers She-Venom, Absolute Carnage #1. And now this one I do actually have the original issue of, and it's Venom Center Takes All #3, if I remember right. Yes, Venom Center Takes All #3. This is the first appearance of She-Venom, who sort of had a moment in the Venom movie, which is I think why this got so popular. Larry Hama doing the script, very famous for his run on G.I. Joe and on Wolverine, and Greg Luzniak doing the breakdowns with Jimmy Palmiotti and Ken Branch doing the finishes. It's got sort of a trying to be like Mark Bagley style, it feels like a little bit, but not quite as good. No, I mean, I couldn't draw this good, but I'm just saying. So yeah, kind of a couple odd choices this time around for True Believers. Kind of weird, but they're only $1, so you can't go wrong. Next up, this is a facsimile edition. Now, what I just showed you were True Believers. Those are $1 reprints of classic Marvel stuff, and they've got like new ads and stuff in them. Now, this is a facsimile edition. I think I've showed you a Hulk 181 of this before. These are actual straight-up facsimiles of classic issues, which includes classic advertisements. So, like, we've got this Punisher LJN Nintendo ad on the back, just like the original New Mutants 98 had that on the back. And then we've got inside, we've got Ski or Die from Ultra Games, an ad for that. And then of course the reprint of New Mutants 98. But the cool thing about this is the reprinting of all the classic ads. So this book is pretty much like a New Mutants 98, with the exception of the paper stock. And some of the ads reprint a bit fuzzy, because I'm sure they're scanning old ads to print them up in here, which there's some degradation in the image quality. But it's still really cool. If you wanted to feel and see what a New Mutants 98 really was like, I guess feel's not the right word, because the paper stock's different. But you know what I mean. So I grabbed that. I have an original New Mutants 98, so that'll be fun to compare the two. Gracie asked for either Princess comics or Spiderman comics, and since I couldn't really figure out comic that's just princess, other than maybe Disney princesses, and she didn't specifically say Disney princesses, I went with Spider-Man stuff. So I went in the back issue bins and I looked under Marvel Adventures. So if you're at a comic shop and you have a kid that wants, you know, Spider-Man comics or Avengers comics, Hulk comics, take a look in the back issues under Marvel Adventures. These are sort of animated style, and they've got a lot of main characters. Like, so this issue has Spider-Man and the X-Men together in Marvel Adventures, and this was originally $1.50. Most comic shops are still charging about that same amount. Ralph Macchio, Andy Kuhn doing this, and they'll have just a fun little comic they can read that's got some classic characters that they may recognize from the movies or cartoon shows they watch. And then I got her Marvel Adventures, just Spider-Man, and this is issue 11, again by Macchio and Kuhn. And this is also $1.50. I think these were both $1.60. So it was like 10 cents more to pay for the poly bags they were in. So those are for Gracie. And next up is a book for me from the back issues. I grabbed this Marvel Comics Presents issue 42 because I just ordered that Union Jack from Marvel Legends, and it made me remember. I remember reading this book as a kid and thinking how cool Union Jack was. Marvel Comics Presents is back again. This is where you had like little chunks of stories that would lead into each other, and sometimes they were just one story. So this time around, Wolverine Part 5 of 10, Wonder Man Part 5 of 8. The Union Jack story, though, I remembered was just in this issue. So there was a Union Jack and then a Daughters of Dragon. These were all, I remember this issue so well. I remember this Wolverine story and wanting to read more. And then this Wonder Man that had Iron Man at the beginning and Beast. But the real draw was this Union Jack story, which I don't know if there was a lot of Union Jack stuff with this version of Union Jack, Joey Chapman, past his Captain America appearances, but I didn't remember this one, so I wanted to grab it. And it was like $3, so we're getting there. Another old issue. Blaze only had one book this week, and Keaton had two, and I like to try and keep theirs, even if I can. So Blaze has been talking about Savage Avengers a lot, so I went back and grabbed the first issue for him. I've talked about this on the channel before because I bought this for myself. It's kind of an odd concept to bring together Wolverine, Conan, Brother Voodoo. I don't know if Thor's actually a part of the Savage Avengers or not. Punisher is, though. But this is where it started. They're being brought together in the Savage Land by this guy that's doing this ritual where he's getting blood from heroes to bring about this giant marrow god. So I grabbed him the first issue, and I grabbed me the third issue, which came out today by Dugan and Diodato. And I thought I remembered seeing something online where Diodato maybe has quit Marvel. I don't know. That would be a bummer because he's really good on this book. So like I said when I was talking about that first issue, yeah, this god dude this priest guy is getting the blood of warriors to bring about this god. So he's like running Brother Voodoo and Wolverine, and Conan's there now. Conan's trying to steal this amulet. I guess Elektra shows up. Punisher's being brought in. Venom, or there was a symbiote that Conan released last issue, which I'm assuming is going to be a Venom symbiote. I don't know. But this is a fun book. It's a very weird team to bring together. I didn't think it was going to work to bring in Conan. Look at this, he's getting covered with a symbiote. But it totally works. When they brought him in to the Savage Land, I was like, okay, that's super fun. Now this book, ordinarily, I open books and show you guys the interiors. I'm not going to do that with this book. I picked this up for my buddy Nick. I don't think this is spoilery at this point to tell you that this issue of Walking Dead that shipped today, issue 193, is actually the final issue of The Walking Dead. It's the surprise final issue. They solicited issues after this in previews that they're not going to send out, and they never had any plans to send out. They wanted this to be a surprise that Walking Dead was going to end with this issue. And this is actually a square-bound, thick issue, and they still put it out at $3.99, which is what they solicited the regular comic at. Again, they didn't want to give anything away. So this is the final issue of Walking Dead, and my friend Nick was kind of worried after I told him, hey dude, the issue of Walking Dead tomorrow is the final issue, and it's like a surprise final issue. He was worried he wasn't going to be able to get it, so I went ahead and grabbed him one today because I have a feeling this book is going to be sold out in like no time, because every shop just ordered it like another issue of Walking Dead, not knowing it was going to be the final issue of Walking Dead. So if you're going to a comic shop today and you're a Walking Dead reader and they have this on the shelf, you may want to grab it because you might not get another chance at cover price to grab one. So, sorry I'm not going to show that to you guys, but I really don't know if it's going to be spoilery or what, and I really don't want to spoil that book for anybody. Next up is, it came out on a Wednesday, so far I've shown you comics for me, Gracie, Blaze, Keaton, Nick. So I've got one more, and that's this one. This is for my buddy Mike. This is Alterna Comics. They print on newsprint, and they print cheap. This is a $1.99 comic, and it's got multiple stories inside of it. I wish more comics were doing this. I think they do other issues too. They're only like $1 something. But this is all in that old classic newsprint. I love the feel of these books. I wish that when Marvel or Dark Horse was doing a comic that felt like it was an 80s comic, I don't know, like Stranger Things, Mystery Science Theater 3000, X-Men Grand Design, I wish they were more on this paper stock, this newsprint stock. So I get this for him when it comes in because it's cheap and it's cool, and I support the idea of cheaper comics. This one's for me. This is a new book today, and I have a feeling this is going to be a hot book. Captain America and the Invaders by Roy Thomas and Jerry Ordway. You cannot go wrong with that creative team. It's a past tale of Captain America and the Invaders, and it's got beautiful Jerry Ordway art. Look at this. Look at this book. Oh my gosh. I have no idea what it's even about yet, but the creative team alone has sold me. And the fact that it's Cap and the Invaders. Oh my gosh, this looks gorgeous. I love Jerry Ordway art. I was so excited to see this book sitting there. There were only a few of them at my shop, so if this intrigues you, this may be one you want to kind of get to early. This is for Blaze, Deceased, the DC Comics zombie book. He's been getting this. He's got the first two. We've been getting the horror movie tribute covers. I had no idea what horror movie this was a tribute to, so I had to look it up. It's to The Nun, which I have not seen. That's more of a newer movie. I'm more of a classic horror movie guy. This is, like I said, it's a DC zombie book where there's like this disease and it's basically turning them into zombies. So I don't read it. Blaze reads it. Taylor, Harrison, Rodino, I don't even know those names. Sorry, dudes. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of room. Maybe this was as big as last week. I don't know. Like, this stuff's already, like, shifting over here and sliding. Oh, well. This one's for Keaton. Transformers number 8. The Bold New Era. I opened this up because it's another one of those deals where they polybagged it. Oh, man, come on. Because they got another pack of cards. Keaton was very excited last time. Sorry if I'm going out of focus a little bit. By the free pack of cards that's included. 1 foil character card plus 7 battle cards in each pack. He was stoked about that. And then you get a comic too, and it's $3.99. I haven't been telling you prices, guys. I'm sorry. Savage Avengers was $3.99. Deceased was $4.99. Came out on a Wednesday. It was $1.99. And I think the Savage Avengers number 1 was still, it was a $4.99 book. I told you that Walking Dead was $3.99, so there you go. Transformers is $3.99. This is the book that kind of brought together all the storylines and made a jumping on point for new readers. Keaton has enjoyed it so far. I personally have no idea what's going on at this point because I haven't been reading it with him. I haven't been reading it first. So, look at all these names though, man. That takes a lot of people to do this book. Look at all that. That's like a movie credits. Alright, you sit over there. Another one for Keaton. Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Series 3. Look at this. It's the Anti-Monitor with Krang inside of him. What is happening? That is cool. Yeah, so he's really enjoyed these series. The movie just came out. We really enjoyed the movie. This one was introducing, I believe, the Mirage Turtles are going to show up in this. So I guess it's like different incarnations of the Turtles. Maybe different incarnations of Batman. It seems as if so. Yeah. And this art's really cool, too. This is a cool book. By Tinian IV and Williams II. My books are going crazy over there. Last regular book for the week. Phew. This one's for me, a book I really enjoy. Uncanny XMen number 21 by Rosenberg and LaRocca. That's 2 issues in a row that he's done. Cyclops has brought together this team after the disappearance of a bunch of the X-Men. Emma's been working with this government dude and has kind of tricked them into forgetting she existed. And now they found out that she's been kind of pulling the strings for them to gather these things for this government dude. But it seems as if everything's going to be coming to a head soon. Wolverine was out chasing the killer dudes that killed Wolfsbane, and then he ran into more problems. Yeah, oh boy, stuff's getting dark. I really enjoy this book, and I believe it's only got 1 more issue left before Hickman takes over and does his Powers of X, the big X-Men event that's supposed to reset everything. I really enjoyed this run, though. I've really enjoyed it so far. I can't wait for the final issue to see how everything ties together, and I'd be tempted to buy it all in trade form, even though I've got all the issues, because I really enjoyed it. If you're looking for a fun X-Men book, I believe it started with issue 11 maybe, or I think X-Men Annual number 1 and issue 11, but it's been a fun read, and I'm kind of bummed that these guys are out. I can't even fit books over here anymore. All right, and the last thing today is the Epic Collection Amazing Spider-Man Volume 18, which is Venom and reprints. Amazing Spider-Man 295 through 310, Annual number 22, Web of Spider-Man 85, number 33, Spectacular Spider-Man number 133. Yeah, so this is a lot of Todd McFarlane stuff. And it's the introduction of Venom. Even though they kind of call it Venom, or they call this book Venom, I don't think Venom actually appears in this book. I think it's all leading up to Venom. it's still cool. I'm still excited to have it. It's another, like I said last time, I'm trying to knock out all the Amazing Spider-Man ones before I move on to the next character and knock out all the epics. But just maybe don't call it Venom. And that is it. Look at this. That's a lot of books again this week. I gotta slow down. As always, I really appreciate any comments. It feels like the views are kind of ticking up on these, and I appreciate that if you guys are sharing that or liking it, or even leaving a comment. Anything you do it helps the video get more exposure and more people to watch them, which is awesome. So I appreciate all you guys checking these videos out. Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live stream. If you want to be on the channel and talk to us, hop on, give us a chat. And yeah, like, subscribe, notify, all that jazz. See you guys next week. Well, I'll see you Sunday, and then I'll see you next week for comics. Later.